What if the universe isn't expanding into empty space at all? What if everything you've ever known, every star, every galaxy, even time itself, exists inside a black hole? What if the Big Bang wasn't the birth of everything, but the moment our universe fell into something far larger? While you are at it, please click like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. Tonight, we're going to explore a theory so strange, it might completely change how you see reality itself. Right now, as you're listening to this, every star you've ever seen, every galaxy ever photographed, and every atom in your body is moving through space at incredible speed. But what if all of it, everything, was happening inside something far stranger than empty space? What if the universe itself was inside a black hole? Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. What if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything, but the moment our universe fell through the event horizon of something much larger? And what if black holes aren't just cosmic destroyers, but cosmic wombs? By the end of this video, the universe may feel a lot less empty and a lot more enclosed. And what's coming later may completely change how you think about the end of reality itself. Let's start at the only place we can, the beginning, or at least what we think was the beginning. The Big Bang is often described as a massive explosion, a single moment where everything burst outward into space. But that description is misleading. There was no explosion into space because there was no space yet. Instead, space itself expanded. Time itself began. Every direction led away from every other direction, all at once. At first, the universe was unimaginably hot and dense. All matter and energy compressed into a state so extreme that our current laws of physics simply stop working. We can describe what happened fractions of a second after the beginning, but not the beginning itself. There's a wall there, a limit. And strangely, that limit looks very familiar. Because when physicists study black holes, they run into the exact same kind of wall. At the center of a black hole is something called a singularity, a point where density becomes infinite, time breaks down, and physics no longer makes sense. Sound familiar? The Big Bang also appears to start from a singularity. Two events, both defined by infinite density, both hidden behind limits we can't see past. This similarity has made some scientists ask a dangerous question. What if they're the same kind of thing? Imagine this. In some larger universe, one we cannot observe, a massive star collapses. Gravity overwhelms everything. The star implodes, forming a black hole. From the outside, that black hole looks small, compact, finite. But from the inside, something very different may be happening. As matter collapses inward, space-time twists violently. Directions flip. What used to be inward becomes forward in time. There may be no center you hit, only expansion. From inside the black hole, the collapse could look like an explosion, a Big Bang. If that's true, then our universe might not be expanding into empty nothingness. It could be expanding inside the interior of a black hole that exists in another universe entirely. That parent universe would be forever cut off from us. The event horizon would act like a one-way door. Nothing from inside can ever send a message back out, which means we could never prove it directly, but the clues might still be there. For example, our universe has a maximum speed limit, the speed of light. Black holes also enforce speed limits. Nothing can escape faster than light once it crosses the horizon. Our universe has a preferred arrow of time. Inside a black hole, time only moves in one direction, forward toward the singularity. And perhaps most interesting of all, our universe appears to be finely tuned. The laws of physics seem balanced on a razor's edge. Tiny changes in gravity, particle mass, or energy strength would make stars impossible. Galaxies wouldn't form. Life would never emerge. Why would reality be tuned like that? Unless it wasn't designed for us at all. What if universes are born inside black holes, each inheriting slightly different physical rules depending on how their parent black hole formed? In that case, black holes wouldn't just destroy matter. They would create universes. And if that's true, then every black hole in our universe could be giving birth to new universes of its own. A cosmic family tree. Universes inside universes inside universes. This idea connects naturally to something even bigger, the multiverse. But before we go there, we need to understand black holes themselves. Because not all black holes are the same. Some are born from dying stars. Some may have formed at the beginning of time, and some might be so large that entire galaxies orbit them like dust around a drain. And each type could create a very different kind of universe on the inside. In the next part, we're going to dive deep into the different types of black holes, how they form, and what really happens once you cross the event horizon. Because what waits inside is stranger than death, and it may be where reality itself is born. To understand whether our universe could exist inside a black hole, we first need to understand what black holes really are, beyond the sci-fi images and dramatic warnings. A black hole is not an object in space. It is a region of space where gravity becomes so intense that space and time themselves bend inward. At the boundary of a black hole is something called the event horizon. This is the point of no return. Cross it, and no signal, not even light, can ever escape back out. From the outside, time appears to slow down for anything falling in. An object seems to freeze at the edge, fading and stretching until it disappears. But from the inside, time doesn't stop. It accelerates. Once you cross the horizon, the direction you used to call toward the center becomes your future. You cannot turn around any more than you can turn back to yesterday. Inside a black hole, space and time swap roles. This is important because it means falling inward is not like falling through space. It is like being pulled forward through time. And that raises a strange possibility. If time is pointing inward, then what looks like collapse from the outside could look like expansion from the inside. And expansion is exactly what our universe is doing. Now let's talk about the types of black holes, because not all black holes are created equal. The smallest black holes form when massive stars run out of fuel. Gravity wins, the star collapses, and a stellar black hole is born. These are only a few times heavier than our sun. Then there are supermassive black holes. These monsters sit at the center of nearly every galaxy. Millions or even billions of times more massive than the sun. They shape entire galaxies around them. But there's another type, one that may be far more important to our story. Primordial black holes. These may have formed in the earliest moments of the universe, when matter was so dense that tiny fluctuations collapsed directly into black holes. Some of these primordial black holes could be incredibly small. Others could be enormous. And here's the key idea. If universes are born inside black holes, then the size, spin, and mass of the black hole could determine what kind of universe forms inside. A slow-spinning black hole might create a universe with stable physical laws. A rapidly spinning one might produce violent expansion, strange dimensions, or unstable physics. In other words, the universe you get depends on the black hole you came from. And inside every black hole, physics breaks. At the core is the singularity, a place where density becomes infinite, distances shrink to zero, and our equations fail completely. But some theories suggest the singularity may not be a point at all. It could be a transition, a bounce. Instead of matter collapsing forever, space-time might rebound outward, creating a new expanding universe. If that's true, then the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything. It was the inside view of something collapsing elsewhere. And that means our universe may have a parent. But if black holes can create universes, then what happens when universes create black holes of their own? That's where things start to get truly mind-bending. Because it means reality may be recursive. And that leads us directly into the multiverse. Imagine a universe where every black hole gives birth to a new universe. Now imagine that each new universe has slightly different physical laws. Some universes collapse instantly. Some never form stars. Some expand too fast for galaxies to exist. But a few, very few, form long-lasting stars, complex chemistry, and eventually life. Those universes would also produce more black holes, which means more offspring universes. Over cosmic timescales, universes that are good at making black holes would reproduce more often. This idea turns the multiverse into something like natural selection. Universes that can create complexity survive. Universes that can't fade away. In this picture, our universe isn't special because it was designed. It's special because it survived. And the multiverse isn't a random mess. It's an evolving system. Each black hole is like a seed. Each universe is like a branch. And reality itself becomes a vast cosmic tree. But this raises a terrifying thought. If our universe exists inside a black hole, then our universe is finite. We are not expanding forever into endless nothingness. We are expanding inside something. And eventually, that something may change. Because black holes don't last forever. They evaporate. Very slowly. Over unimaginable spans of time, black holes lose mass. They leak energy. Eventually, they disappear completely. If our universe is inside a black hole, what happens when the black hole dies? Does our universe end? Does time stop? Or does something far stranger occur? To answer that, we need to talk about the possible endings of the universe. And there are many. Some slow, some violent, some so extreme that reality itself is torn apart, and some that may loop everything back to the beginning again. One possible future is the Big Freeze. In this scenario, the universe keeps expanding forever. Stars burn out. Galaxies drift apart. Eventually, space becomes cold, dark, and empty. Time keeps going, but nothing happens. Another possibility is the Big Rip. Here, expansion accelerates faster and faster. Galaxies are torn apart. Solar systems dissolve. Even atoms are ripped open. Space itself wins. Then there's the Big Crunch. Expansion slows, stops, and reverses. Everything collapses back together. Galaxies fall inward. Stars collide. The universe compresses into an incredibly dense state. And then, possibly, a big bounce. Instead of ending, the universe rebounds. Collapse becomes expansion. A new universe begins, perhaps with different laws. But there's another ending that feels especially disturbing if we live inside a black hole. The Big Slurp. This is the idea that our universe could undergo a sudden phase change. The fundamental structure of reality shifts. Physics as we know it disappears at the speed of light. No warning. No survival. Everything rewritten instantly. If our universe is inside a black hole, then some of these endings may not be internal at all. They may depend on what happens outside. If the parent black hole evaporates, if it collides with another black hole, if its spin changes, then our universe's fate could be sealed by events we can never observe, which means the ultimate destiny of reality may already be decided, somewhere beyond our cosmic horizon. And that leads us to the final question. If our universe is inside a black hole, then reality is not infinite. It is nested, layered, protected, and imprisoned. We may never escape our cosmic container. We may never see our parent universe. But we are not insignificant. Because if universes are born inside black holes, then consciousness, thinking beings capable of understanding the universe, may be one of the rarest outcomes of all cosmic evolution. You are matter that learned to think. Inside a universe that may itself be inside another universe. Inside a chain that could stretch infinitely in both directions. And maybe the most important question isn't how it all began, or how it will end, but whether understanding itself is the universe's way of looking back at its own origin. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If our universe really is inside a black hole, what do you think exists inside the black holes we create next? Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. See you next video.